Or 2 more problems maybe? Well, 2 more examples and 2 on each. Wow, y'all going to be pressed for time today. No. Oh, cut you a little bit on the homework. Example, I don't know. Example 3 says the area of a trapezoid can be found with this formula. Y'all know what a trapezoid looks like? The top of what type of building? Y'all know this?
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut, there you go. The top of Pizza Hut is a trapezoid. Okay, anytime I hear trapezoid, I had you for 7th and 8th grade math, didn't I? Maybe you remember from that. Anytime you hear trapezoid, that's Pizza Hut. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about? It looks like this. That's a trapezoid. The new Pizza Hut, yeah, unfortunately. The Wing Street or whatever, yeah, doesn't have that. But you have 2 bases. That's what B1 and B2 in your formula are. And you have a height, which is that. So that's what everything stands for. You don't have to know that. It says the area of a trapezoid can be found with this formula. Use the formula to find the missing parts. In 7th and 8th grade math, what they would have done, they would have gave you H, they'd have gave you B1, they'd have gave you B2, and asked you to find the area. We're not doing that anymore. Okay, we're in algebra now. They're going to give you any 3 of them, and you've got to find the missing part using solving equations. So watch this. We've got this formula. A equals 1/2 times height times B1 plus B2. And you've probably never seen that before with the little 1 and 2 down there. All that meant, y'all saw it last year maybe, means first base and second base. Right? So what would home plate be? I don't know. Home plate. Y'all get it? First base, second base, third base. Home. Okay. Never mind. So A is 200, B1 is 24. I don't think we got it. A is 200, B1 is 24, and H is 10. This is, hopefully Nick, this might help you with what you were asking about a while ago. Go ahead. That's it. You're missing what piece? B2. So all you're going to do, you're going to take out the A and put 200 there. You're going to take out the H and put 10, and take out B1 and put 24. So we're missing B2. Huh? No. This is our beginning. This is where we're starting. Now let me explain to you what I do when solving these things. Clean up anything that you can clean up. Is there anything that you can do there? You know what a half times 10 is. Let's do that first. So you have 200 equals half times 10. 5. Anytime you say times, guys, that means the word of means times. So if you want to put an of in there when you have fractions, 1/2 times 10 is the same thing as 1/2 of 10. It makes it a little bit easier. So you got 5 times 24 plus B2. How in the world are we going to work that? We did the other day. It's the same thing. Get rid of parentheses. You get rid of parentheses by watering flowers, correct? 24 times 5, what in the world? 20 times 5, and then 4 times 5. What's 20 times 5? 100. 4 times 5? 120. Good job. Plus, what? No. A lot of people are doing that on their test, too. 5 B2. They're not watering both flowers. B2 is going to die because they're not watering it. They're doing 5 times 24, but they're not doing 5 times B2. Now do you see how to work this? What's the next step? Subtract 120. So you have 80 equals 5 times B2. Now what do you do? Divide by just 5, not 5B2. And you get B2 equals 16. There's your answer. Good job, guys. So, first step, plug it in, clean it up, and then solve the equation. That's it. Got one more of these. I'm nearly done. We started late. A equals 1/2 times height times B1 plus B2. Let's plug in what we know. A is 50, is that right? B1 is what? 10. B2 is 50 as well? 15, okay. Okay, now we've got the stuff plugged in. Clean up anything you can clean up. What can we clean up there? Yeah, we can add 10 and 15 there and you get 25. Let me show you a trick here. The right side we could clean up some more. because you have 1/2 times height times 25. Could I do half times 25? Yes. Why can I do 1/2 times 25 before I do times h? Because multiplication is commutative. You can swap orders there if you want to. That's the same thing as 1/2 times 25 times h. But I'm not going to do that. Let me show you what I'll do. I want to move my 25 over first, and there's reasons for this. How in the world are you going to move 25 over? You're going to divide it because you have times 25, right? So we're going to do divided by 25, and I'm going to mark it out. That's it. 2 is a half. Do you see? It's easy to divide that, isn't it? So go ahead and divide it. So 2 equals 1/2 times h. Now, again, that's being multiplied too, right? So how are you going to move a half over? Divide by a half. How in the world do you divide by a half? How do you do divided by 1/2? Something divided by a half. There you go. You flip it and you multiply. To divide two fractions, you flip it, multiply. So divided by 1/2 is the same thing as times, which is, what is 2 over 1? How do you divide fractions? The only one you have. If you have something divided by 1/2, you do that something times 2 over 1. No. Do you see why we're dividing by a half? Because it's being multiplied. But division by a half, like any, just make up one. 2/3 divided by a half would be 2/3 times 2 over 1. Division by a fraction, you have to flip it and multiply it. Okay? It'd be 2 times 2 over 1, yeah. Which is 2 times 2, which is, so the height is 4. So again, all I did is I divided by a half. The way we divide by a half is multiplying by, like he said, 2 over 1, which is multiplying by 2. So, yes, and that'd be 1. Last set of problems. Gives you that the circumference is 2 pi r. And on this one, you probably want to use your calculator. Circumference is 2 pi r, and they tell you, okay, on A part, yeah, circumference is 67. On B part, it says circumference is 314. If you watch this, it'll give you a shortcut, and it won't take you as long to do those problems. So I'm going to have to plug these circumferences in and try to find r. So one way of doing it is to do, okay, just plug that in. 67 equals 2 pi r. And then how do you find the r? That's being multiplied, right? So you divide by 2 pi. But let me show you something. Why not just start out and take this formula? This is the reason we learned that stuff from a while ago. Another reason. Why not take your formula and go ahead and move the 2 pi over there? So you get r is equal to what? C over, this is what we did the other day, or a while ago. This is actually the same. If you look back in your notes, we did that problem to where I told you to solve that for r. R is equal to C divided by 2 pi. Let's talk about again why that's true. If you want to get R by itself, take 2 pi, move it over. Since they're being multiplied, what is it going to be when you move it over? Divided by. So do you see how you can go from there to there? Now I'm going to... What if it was C equals 2 times R? How would you move the 2 over? You divide by 2. It's the same thing, but that's how I got this formula. Now let me explain to you why I did that. Because now you have a couple of C's, and all you've got to do to find the answers is just put them right there where the C is. Like for the first one, you have R equals, here's your formula. In the place of C, put 67. So all you got to do is type that into your calculator now. 67 divided by 2 pi. What is pi? So you have, if you don't want to type that bottom end, that's 6.28. So 67 divided by 6.28. Anybody got that answer? 10.6687 will be about 10.67. Again, I've got my formula solved for already. C over 2 pi. And if you want this, some of your homework problems are like this, where you have to find the radius given a circumference. If you would rather use this formula than to use this formula, it's a little bit quicker. It saves you one step. They're the same formula, though. It's the exact same thing. One of them's just been solved for R. So in the second one, you got C is 314. So in the place of C, put 314. And then just type that in your calculator. 314 divided by 2 pi, 6.28. Told you a while ago. 2 times 3.14. What is it? Try it one more time. 314 divided by 6.28. Huh? 50. The bottom one. Right here. 314 divided by 6.28. Let me answer somebody's question, because if you don't, calculators mess you up sometimes. If you type this in, and this is what you did the first time, that's the reason I told you it's wrong. If you type in 314 divided by 2 times 3.14. Yeah, 2 pi. The 2 times pi, 2 times 3.14. If you type that into your calculator, it will give you the wrong answer. But is that not the same thing as this? No. Because what are you dividing by 2 here? 314. Are you dividing that 314 also by 3.14? No. If you want to type it in like that, you've got to do this right here. 314 divided by all of that. Not just part of it. You've got to put parentheses around it. Yes. What I would do there, if you've got a cheaper calculator, do 2 times 3.14 first, which will be 6.28, and then do 314 divided by 6.28, and that gives you 50. But just be careful, because if you type it in like this, it's going to spit out the wrong answer.